Hello and welcome back. We're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to look at a couple of bridges. One that I've used before, the Wilkinson compensated saddle bridge system. And this is the Glendale plate, which I'll be using on my butterscotch blonde build, which will be done this week. There, I've set it. Now I have to have it done. So, one of the features you'll notice with this Glendale is it has drop, treble, and bass or side rails. I guess you can call them rails. That gives you better access to the strings if you're doing chicken picking or for muting, and just for better access. You don't have the that rail sitting up high, getting in your way. They both, excuse me, they're both chrome units, while the Glendale has more of a satin or sandblasted look and feel to it, texture. And aside from that, they're pretty much identical. The mounting holes and the string through holes are basically spot on to each other, so you know with replacement you're not going to have an issue. If you're doing a new build, you wouldn't have a problem because you'd be marking it out anyways. One of the downfalls with the Wilkinson is the pickup mounting holes. I have a base plate for a bridge pickup here. That came from a Mojo Tone kit. And the holes won't line up. And you would need to enlarge the holes a bit and do some filing to get them to fit nicely. You can get one of the holes good, but the other two will be out, and you just have that same issue all the way around. So that's that's really the only downfall with this bridge that I can think of. They're both the same thickness of material. Although the Wilkinson looks thicker, that could be just the chrome plating. But it isn't by much. Excuse me. The Glendale, on the other hand, has perfect hole lining up mounting holes, and you don't have a problem with that. The downfall with the Glendale is it is slightly narrower, so when you're drilling your bridge pickup cavity, if you were to do the standard size in here, you would get what's called butt crack. You'd be able to see the edge of the cavity route. Let me see if I can get this. So I knew this ahead of time. I knew what bridge was going on. So what I did was I reduced the end portions of the route, so that eliminated or minimized the amount of butt crack you're going to get. I am using the butterscotch blonde body to show you. So it turned out quite well. So if you know that ahead of time, that will save you that problem. If I throw on the Wilkinson, let me get this correct here. Okay, you won't have quite the issue because it's a slightly wider bridge plate. Although it does look nice on there, I have to tell you. The other thing to look for is how flat your bridge sits against the body of your guitar. You want that thing to be nice and flat if possible. The only issue is when you're dealing with such thin material and the stamping processes and forming processes that they go through, you're going to get deformation. And there is a slight bit of cupping in this plate, as well as the Wilkinson, not quite as much with the Wilkinson. But you're looking at some thin material and you're coming awful close to these ends for punching out your pieces and forming. You're going to get some of that happening. What I have noticed in the past is they, from what I can tell from the factory, they actually run this across a sander to chew it up a little bit. You can't see it. You can see a little bit of the sanding marks there. And here you can see it. So you know that they've taken a little bit of effort to try and reduce that problem. I don't see any on the Glendale. Now that could just be because they have really good polishing processes there too at their factory. The other thing with the Glendale is it doesn't have the rear loading. It just has a string through option. The Wilkinson has both the rear and the bottom string through option. I don't think you would ever use it, because the whole point of the string through is for that tone and the look, the vintage look. This sort of takes away from the vintage look, having these 6 extra holes there that you would never use. So that's that for the bridges. Now we'll take a closer look at the saddles. They're both sets are made of brass. Whether they're different types of brass, that I can't tell you. I can't find any spec on it. These are the buds, and they're a nice set as well. The only differences that I can see, I haven't done a comparison right across one to the other. They look almost identical. The only difference is the buds don't have the, it looks like the, well actually the Wilkinson look like they have a little more of a polishing done to them than the buds. Aside from that, they look pretty much the same. Using the same kind of hardware. The springs are a little bit beefier on the buds than they are on the Wilkinson. As you can see, the where are we here? The size there, a little bit heavier spring in the buds. So I don't know what else I could tell you. It'll be interesting to hear this bridge in the butterscotch blonde here, and do a comparison with this bridge, but I don't know that I'll have the time to do that. Anyways, that's just a little bit of a review, just some information for you to take to your next purchase when you're looking at getting yourself upgrading a bridge or doing a completely new build. Obviously, we're looking at a higher end of a budget and a lower end. And I believe there are 2 versions of the Wilkinson. There's a Gatto Wilkinson version and then just the straight Wilkinson. I know that Guitar Fetish sells a version, and this didn't come from Guitar Fetish. It came from a different eBay seller that I've used. But I think they're pretty much the same bridge. And this one was actually purchased through a reseller, I believe. Or a used piece, I can't recall. There's just slight, you can see just a little bit of the scratches from the Allen screw, so I believe this was around the hole there. So you can tell that this was used before. And there's the logo. So that should help you. Just keep in mind that your mounting holes are going to need to be modified if you want to use this bridge. And if you're going to use the Glendale, keep in mind that your pickup cavity will need to be a little slightly narrower, unless you want to see a little bit of butt crack. And I live in a trucking community and I see enough of it already, so I think it's good that I don't. Okay, there you go. I hope that was helpful and informative, and we'll keep trying to bring some of this more of technical information to you and help you out. Bye for now.